Rodgers, who joined Detroit from the Buccaneers coaching staff, has vowed to work with the former Saints defensive end to do everything he can to keep him healthy. Okay? Now, remember, Rodgers is not a doctor. Rodgers is a defensive line coach. Okay? But he's going to do everything in his power to keep him healthy. Okay? He's going to do everything in his power to keep him healthy. Okay? So he says that's the number one thing. I talked to him about it because that's the thing I told him in the first meeting. I've got to do everything to help him do that. Rodgers said, this guy is a tremendous player. It's just as you look at his career, it's always been, he's this. If we can keep him healthy, this is another guy that stares me in the face every meeting. He's coming in here working. We've just got to do what we can to get him through 16, 17 games and see what happens. We think if he plays 16, 17 games, we're gonna like the results. I think we're gonna like the results too. What I'm seeing here, translation. Marcus Davenport ain't gonna practice in training camp, and you definitely ain't gonna see his ass in the preseason. Oh, we gonna have him in bubble wrap now. Oh, you bet your bottom dollar. We're going to have this man in some bubble wrap. We're going to have him in some cellophane. We're going to have him in some tinfoil. Okay. We're going to have him in everything. Because if you think we're going to put him out there on that football field to engage in football activities, when he can pull a Mr. Glass, you are sadly mistaken. You will not see Marcus Davenport at training camp doing any team drills. He will be off to the side working with trainers. When the team stuff starts, you will not see him. That's my translation. Because what else can they do? What else can they do to ensure his health? Just like they did last season. His workload in training camp was very minimal, and they got him to the season, and he still didn't last more than 2 games. More than 2 actual games played. Right? He played through game number 1, got injured at the end of it, missed game number 2, went out very early in game number 3. Chip Bradshaw said that means keeping him on the sidelines. Right. You picked up on that too, huh? How is he going to keep him healthy, keep him on the bench? Yes. That's it. That's 100%. If he stays on the bench, Davenport has a 50% chance of staying healthy. There you go. Bubble Boy Davenport next to Project Pat Martin. Oh, my goodness. All right. What else did they have to say about this man? Rodgers noted that Davenport has been on the wrong end of the luck factor, but the tape shows a player that is dominant and able to be an asset for the Lions defense. Detroit has made the decision not to target a high-priced free agent defensive end with the hopes Davenport can play an executive and execute well opposite of Aidan Hutchinson. Some of the things he gets hurt on are just freaky. I'm sitting here watching the few games before he got hurt, and he was playing dominant, Rodgers explained. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But where I can help him, take some things off of him, you get this, and somebody else can get that. This guy is going to be a big asset to the team. Okay. So based on what Rodgers is saying, I can take some things off of him. You get this, and somebody else gets that. Nobody believes that Marcus Davenport, nobody at Allen Park believes that Marcus Davenport can handle a full workload. Here's my question. If you don't believe he can handle a full workload, then what is the meaning of this line? Detroit has made the decision not to target a high-priced free agent defensive end with the hopes Davenport can play and execute well opposite of Aidan Hutchinson. You hope and you wish, that don't mean you gonna catch fish. You wish and you pray, that don't mean he gonna play. Okay? Like, what are you? So, and this is when I'm gonna get the Trust in Brad Holmes crowd to come in and tell me that I'm not the general manager and I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been saying this: hoping and wishing is not a plan. Hoping and wishing doesn't open the kitchen. Let Brad Holmes cook. How? The kitchen is closed. Hoping and wishing doesn't open the kitchen. The kitchen is closed. How you gonna cook if the kitchen is closed? The decision not to bring in a high-priced free agent. Do you think that Zadarius Smith is high-priced? If you gave Zadarius Smith $12 million for a single year, is that a high price? Because goddamn Joey Bosa got, I think, 12 and a half. And we know Joey Bosa don't stay healthy. Joey Bosa is in the same boat as Marcus Davenport. Maybe he's marginally healthier than Marcus Davenport. How in the world is that a viable strategy? To hope and to wish that Marcus Davenport will be healthy enough to play opposite Aidan Hutchinson for an entire season, while everyone knows that if you give him a full workload, he can't. This is what this article just like everything was about: his availability, his health, and then Casey Rogers comes in and says, well, I got to do everything in my power to get him to stay on the field. And what we gleaned from my translation and from reading between the lines was that what I have to do to keep him on the field and what's in my power is to reduce his workload, aka reduce the amount of time that I have him on the field. So if we have 75 defensive snaps, he can only be on there for 25. So if you're telling me he's a rotational player, who is he rotating with? So that was the answer to the question when we said, hey, 2021, Cedric says Ahmed or Z Smith. Ahmed is a non-factor to me, Cedric. Ahmed is a non-factor. Ahmed is a 6th-round rookie. He's a developmental project. We're talking about this year, right now. If the season started tomorrow, is Ahmed an option for you? No. Ahmed has been playing football for 5 years. I'm not putting those expectations on him. I've said it before. It's nothing against him. I'm not putting the expectations. How am I going to put my expectations on a 6th-round rookie? Right? It's just, to me, it's as crazy as putting my expectations on Marcus Davenport to stay healthy for the entire season. What are we doing? Quick, someone go get this man some bubble wrap, says Motown Mitch. All right, 2021 Cedric says last year wasn't his fault, but they will probably just use him on 3rd down at first. But Shep said that's just at the start. Again, we're proving my point. If we're just using him on 3rd down to start, okay, and what is the start? The first 4 weeks of the season? Then what is our production going to be? Who are we going to have out there opposite Hutch? Levi? With his 3 half sacks? See, this is why we talk about what we talk about. This is why I look at it in the way that I look at it. None of this stuff is a viable plan. If you do not trust Marcus Davenport's health, And you shouldn't, because he hasn't proven to be able to stay healthy. He's a phenomenal football player when he's on the field, and that's very little. I think he's missed something like 40% of his games. Now, what did I talk about Jadeveon Clowney? I said Jadeveon Clowney, 40% of the time is going to give you very, very close to double-digit sacks for the season. Marcus Davenport has missed 40% of his games. That's crazy. 40% of the available games, you've missed them. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You fool me, you can't fool me again. If you know, you know. Use the hashtag. Hashtag W. He's just being eased into a full workload. But when does a full workload happen? When are you comfortable with giving him a full workload? Right? If you're not comfortable giving him a full workload until November, December, then what the F are you going to do before then? What are you going to do until then? Who is going to be on the opposite side of Aidan Hutchinson until Marcus Davenport is ready for a full workload later on in the season? This is why this plan doesn't work, because you don't have anyone currently on the roster. Now, if they go out and sign Big Z, everything that I've said is null and void, because now they have someone on the roster. If this is your plan, if you are going to ease Marcus Davenport into a full workload, which I 100% support, that is the smartest thing that you can do. That is the only way that I view you handling this situation correctly. Keep Marcus Davenport off the field until the postseason. That's what I think. Okay? But you can't do that completely, because he's got to play. You got to work him in. You got to give him a partial workload, trying to protect him and keep him available for the postseason. But you got to go sign somebody, because we don't have anyone on this roster currently that scares you opposite Hutch. What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P here. Listen, if you want to continue keeping your Lions news pragmatic, if you want to keep getting the stats and not none of that static, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share and let everybody know what's going on around here. And turn on your notifications, because how else would you know that we're up in here keeping your Lions news pragmatic? Appreciate you once again, and we are out. Peace.